Hello, Melanie here. Melanie Miller, formerly Melanie Murphy, former Miss Ohio 2006. I'm sure that by now, most of you have gotten my super special letter about my husband, Matt Miller. Isn't he gorgeous? He's running for Congress in the 16th District of Ohio. And I would like to read this letter to you now, or actually, I have to memorize it because I do that kind of stuff for the Miss Ohio pageant. And I want to make Matt Miller's candidacy just as much like a Miss Ohio pageant as I can. You see, Matt's run was really starting to go in the crapper, and he was getting all sad. And I said, "Sweetie, I've got a great idea." Everybody tries for all the different types of demographic votes out there. They've got the senior vote, the youth vote. I said, "Sweetie, why don't we go for the Barbie vote? Nobody else has tried that before. Because, honey, we know all the negative rumors that are going around about you out there, and they all feel that you're a flaming homosexual anyhow. Why don't we try to capitalize on it?" So he said, "Sure, honey. Let's go for it." So here's what I wrote. I said, "Hi. I'm Melanie Miller, and my husband Matt is running for a Republican primary for U.S. Congress. I can't tell you how many times I've said while going door to door for my husband, meeting so many wonderful people throughout the 16th district. I was hopeful Matt and I would be able to knock on every door in the district. But with the March 4th primary rapidly approaching, it looks like that just isn't possible. So I wanted to take this time to let you know Matt Miller a little more personally. Now, not too personally, I'm saying, or else you're probably going to need a shot or a condom or something. Now, I know what a lot of you are probably saying. Melanie, honey, didn't we get a campaign newsletter that said that we weren't going to be doing door-to-door knocking? Well, of course you did. But this is politics, and the truth has absolutely nothing to do with reality and politics. So why don't you guys just stick a sock in it, because the truth is whatever we want it to be at the moment, okay? And whatever's politically expedient to getting my husband and I out of this podunk little town and getting us one step closer to the White House, okay? Speaking of political expediency, in this next part of the letter, we're going to have to use a little bit of the Huckabee approach because that seemed to be working for him. So we're going to pretty much whore out Jesus as often as we can in this next part of it. So we'll be mentioning Sunday and church and God and pastors. All those little buzzwords that get the one-tooth snake-handling Hicks hearts all aflutter. Anyhow, let me continue. Matt and I first met on a Sunday morning. The birds were chirping, the sun was shining magnificently behind Matt's halo, and I had been invited to sing at his church. Matt still laughingly argues that he wasn't dragged by the arm across the parking lot to meet me. No, if truth be told, the pastor was actually holding his elbow so that he wouldn't ascend. When I first met Matt, I wasn't really sure what was going to make him ascend first. Either it was his great spirituality, or it was his head that was the size of a Mardi Gras float. I knew right then that there was something super special about Matt Miller, and it wasn't long after that we became inseparable. Well, never mind the fact that you never see me with him at any of his campaign events, but once again, the truth doesn't matter. After a very romantic and politically savvy proposal on YouTube, we were married. I'll never forget, on one of our first dates, when a tall, dark stranger approached our table, a rather mysterious gentleman with a rather wide stance, and asked Matt for help. Now, while most people would get upset at being disturbed at dinner, Matt was not. He was more than happy to help the gentleman with his problem. They both went to the restroom where they could talk in private, and they both came out very satisfied with the solution to the man's problem. That's when I knew that Matt was different from most other politicians. Well, at least the ones that haven't been caught anyhow. For as long as I've known him, Matt has made serving others his top priority. I can tell you one thing. After seeing Matt's encounter with this gentleman, I know that once he sets his mind to something, Whether it's his tireless work as a county commissioner or his efforts to improve and strengthen strengthen America, he will make sure that it is done to the best of his ability. Okay, now folks, I'm going to try to do this next part with a straight face, so no laughing, okay? Remember what I said about the truth in politics. Several months ago, Matt and I discussed whether running for Congress was the right thing to do. We knew the job would not be easy, but after many long nights of serious consideration and a great deal of prayer, we decided that Matt really could give our district a strong voice in Washington. Now, I know that most of you have heard him say that he has been planning this for the last 8 years, and 2 years ago he ran against Ralph Regula, but just to appease the snake handlers once again, we had to use the word prayer in there again and make it seem all uber Christian and stuff, you know. Okay, back to the letter. You see, he cares more about you and I than doing the right thing for America than he cares about his next election. Oh, gee. Come on, Matt, I live with you and I'm not even gonna buy that crap. You expect Americans to suck this up like a ham sandwich? Are you nuts? Okay, alright, I'll get back to the letter, sorry. Every day I admire him more and more for the man he is. A man of integrity, a man of discipline and honor. And I believe, most importantly, he is a man of strong Christian values. Oh, come on, Matt. You cannot expect me to... I can't go on with it. I just can't do it. Okay, sorry. I know Matt has a strong desire to make sure that the values that have made this country great are preserved. Matt is dedicated to defending those values for future generations in Congress because he understands the power of faith, freedom, and our nation's founding principles. Oh, please, Matt, please, end the pain. Just give me a gun now and let me stick it in my mouth. Okay, alright, I'm trying. As a strong fiscal conservative, Matt takes pride in the fact that he has never once cast his vote to raise taxes. Never mind the fact that he's in a county seat, and most counties that I know of don't have taxes per se. I pay federal tax and city tax and, state tax, but I don't think that he could raise a vote if he wanted to. But anyway, even if he could raise a vote, he wouldn't. But instead, he cut wasteful spending in order to balance the county's budget over the past 8 years. You see, Matt values family, and even though he really doesn't have that much of an immediate family because, last election he kind of married a trophy wife just to, look good during the election, and then immediately divorced her afterwards, and then when he goes to make his next run, he marries me, and then, that looks really good because we look really cute on our picture that we sent you, and believe us, on the back of it, when we said that was a spontaneous picture taken at a Medina rally, and even though it has nice backlighting and a studio backdrop done by a professional photographer, don't worry about that. We always carry studio lighting backdrops and a photographer with us everywhere we go. In an effort to hit all of the Republican buzzwords before the end of this letter, I'd also like to say that Matt is pro-life. Never once has he ever pulled a fetus out of a woman's uterus kicking and screaming. Also, he's never really marched in a pro-life march in Washington or anything, and he's never really picketed an abortion mill, and, well, it doesn't really matter. It's not actually what you've done, it's what you say, and it's about which buzzwords you use, and Matt is definitely pro-life. Let me say in closing, ladies and gentlemen, I know Matt's heart, because we keep it in a drawer right there at the house, and we bring it out every time that we need to use it for a political election. That's why I hope you will join our family in supporting Matt Miller on March 4th. Thank you. Thank you very much. I love you.